Hello. Okay. I made sure I was not muted this time. No more talking to myself for 20 minutes before realizing my mistake. Okay. So, now that I'm here, I just want to I'm going to quickly play and see where I'm at. Because I think last time I got the 4x4s working. So that was cool. And then also I did um after off stream I just kind of at some point set up all the rooms so that it should all work. Why is it taking so long to play? It's so weird, doesn't it? It only takes a few seconds, but alright. Finally doing its thing. Okay. So I had the gizmos for a second. So I made all the rooms this kind of new format. So they're all working and they're kind of spawning as they should. I think I was, yeah, so I just did that basically. So now they're all just, if we look at the layout here. All right, so they're all rooms, all cool, and all that stuff. So the next thing I kind of want to look into, oh, that's cool. I didn't notice that all my corners are vents on there, but that's cool. The corridors. So getting all these hooked up, making sure this actually looks like a level. Because there's definitely more things that I have to actually do once I've hooked it up for this actually to be like a walkable level. Because none of these things have colliders, none of these things have any nav mesh thoughts. Which is still a little open question is whether or not how I make these nice nav mesh building stuff. I know there is a system to now do it on runtime, but yeah. Oh, hey Lance, nice to see you again. It's going pretty good. I've got my thing. I got my 4x4s here, and I'm gonna make some corridors. So that's my goal here. Okay, so first step is hooking up how I want to put this corridor generator system, and hook it up into the world stuff. One thought I had is I could just make it like child game object that the map generator knows about. Because then I kind of keep them separate. So they're kind of still a little distinct. But then they, still kind of pass in stuff. No, the main idea is that right now I have a public field for the things that I want to connect. Getting ready for work. You like live in India or something? Like when who gets to work at 8 p.m. now? Because 8 p.m. PST, so it must be getting ready for work. It must be somewhere that's early, somewhere like on the other side of the world. Oh, night shifts. Okay, fair enough. That also is applicable. I would definitely fall asleep. But I guess you get used to it. I just don't know. Like such a crazy life. All right. Okay. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna first just separate out. There's no more public to connect. I'm gonna rip out that, and then it's just gonna have this. I think that that'll work. 4 on, 3 off, rather than all over the place. Yeah, I guess you just like go crazy for 4 days, and then 3 days are kind of normal. Imagine though, it's like makes like socialization weirder, but I guess if you're as unsocial as I am, then it probably also doesn't matter that much. This thing, this guy is going to have a serialized reference to my order generator. Corridor generator. I guess that makes sense. You know, like you'd have the community of people that are the night shift people, the late nighters. Okay, so now I'm going to go into here and corridor links. I have a for each loop here. That must be for exactly this reason, right? To link, to link. Okay. That seems kind of like I planned this. Almost. I'm gonna remove that line because that's already linking these two. I actually kind of don't want to do that. So let's just see what happens if I go and go to my corridor generator. I go and dog's going a little crazy. Decided to go for the spooky music again, and sometimes it catches me off guard, and I forget that I'm listening to it, and then I'm like, I'm in a horror movie. Kind of funny. What am I putting? Okay, so I was thinking here though, I don't really like the fact now that I have to put in a list because these aren't lists. I guess eventually they'll be lists, because right now they're just a list of a tuple of navigation points. It's like two navigation points stuck together. But I can just make this into a list for now. Eventually I probably will have a list, so because eventually I'm gonna have to connect more than just direct, but all these ones right now are just directly linked, so it should be fine. Forward door link dot item 1 corridor link dot item 2, and then I supply my random seed. What is it called again? What is my random thing in here called? Map random. There we go. Map random. And then my underscore grid. Map grid unit size. That sounds about right. Okay. How amazing if I click this button right now, and after like 5-10 minutes of coding, I have some corridors. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, and actually recompile. Okay, sweet. Play. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's kind of fair. I mean, I have to actually take this guy, put him in here, and make sure he's referenced. And then I need to go to this and just go file. Because now you know. Well, actually, this seed shouldn't actually be. Seed should be 0. Okay. Got a prefab. So I don't want that to actually be serialized. Aha! I mean, there's obviously things wrong with it, but kind of a corridor. Wait, wasn't this supposed to be like 2? I think this was actually supposed to be 2. That might be causing some of this chaos. Yeah, I think it's probably partly that. I have no clue why it's wanting to turn there. Maybe some. At least, okay. At the very, very, very least. Change that to 2. Bye. I'm gonna make this 4 actually to account for the distance and spacing. Okay. So yeah, there's definitely something wrong there. That's probably with the door. There is actually corridors though, connecting most of this, which is pretty cool. Okay. So let's see what the heck is going on here. Alright, so this is a turn here. It's obviously thinking that like this guy here, this room. What do your nav points look like? Okay, show me the nav point, nav point. Yeah, it's that point is going. But why? Okay. Okay, that is kind of weird. Because. Oh, I know, because this whole room is rotated, isn't it? Yeah, okay, so that's why. But, yeah, I just don't understand why there's like actually 2 turns there. One second. In corridor generator, I create a corridor thing, and then it seems like I only ever actually set these things that I spawn to be, never actually like make them the child. So I should probably do that. So let's go to both of these. Ba-bam, ba-bam, bam, bam. And then put in a transform parent. And then what do I want to do here is basically find wherever I'm instantiating. Which I'm really not taking the value at all. So let's just go corridor. Okay, yeah. I'm eventually definitely gonna have to do more with these things because transform dot parent equals parent. Alrighty. Okay. Alright, sounds good. We'll see you in a little bit, I guess then. Okay. Transform parent. Okay, that's basically all I need to do for now. But I need to do the similar thing to junction points. Spawn junction. Go transform parent, comma, and then go to wherever. Yeah, connect point lines. Yes, of course I will need to do that. I'm gonna go. Why am I instantiating? I'm still instantiating a corridor piece, right? Actually, yes, it is. It's still corridor C equals instantiate, paste this there. Okay, dokie. C dot transform the parent equals the parent. Okay. So now at least, when I spawn this, and actually the other thing I wanted to do is just so I consistently get the same seed. I don't know. Do. Copy this number. Just use that for now. All right, okay, and then I don't actually provide that thing into here yet. Okay, so then this thing, what is the thing that I use for the parent? All the way up here. Corridor holder. Alright, it seems to be dot transform. Dot transform and dot transform. It's bigger too. Yeah. I'll get some water. I will be. Okay. I have a very large full water bottle and ready to go. So let's play. And let's see what happens here. Okay. Yeah, so it definitely still seems that there's not that many corridors, but within the corridor, they're spawning turns for what seems to me like no good reason. Like it's got straights, and then spawns 2 turns in there. And this is in response to this room's nav point here. Oh wait, why is... Oh, why are you there? I guess no, that makes sense. That is the edge of the room. It just looks weird from this perspective, but yeah. That kind of does make more sense. So it's fine there. And yeah, again, why... I have a half straight here, a half straight here, a half straight here, and then 2 turns on the same spot. But the same like over here? Like are all these corridors kind of like the same? And again, 3 half straights, a turn and a turn. Okay. And those some look just fine. Feel. Okay, so this one is like legit just fine. Just 2. Was I getting some errors? Yeah. Add remaining offset of -5. Add remaining offset of 0.5. When I go... Yeah, okay. I gotta figure out why the junctions... Why there were even junctions being made. Like, all of these doors... basically this is happening, right? Somehow this is happening. Whether this. That's what... Though it's on a turn, in my mind. Or... the paths, it's not thinking it's aligned. Right? Because if it's aligned, then there's that. So let's go here. Then let's just edit the breakpoint, make the condition not path aligned. And let's just say that. I'm wondering if it's like enough, like these guys are like just barely enough over. I'm not doing the breakpoint. Attached to Unity. Pass aligned, false. Okay, so position X here. Right, so it's false, so it's talking about X. X is like a super, super small number. And X is again like a super, super, super small number. But they're like slightly not there. Or like it's such a small number that the magnitude here on these guys is still basically exactly there. But I guess it's not yet, it's not quite the approximate level. So I wonder. Like maybe I have to just go like round to int almost on this level, which might be a little risky. Like it's probably not so bad. I guess I could do, instead of round to int, there's no like way of just like bumping up the approximately a level. No. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go. Maybe I'm gonna need to make my own little like RBUtils function for this, where it's like within a certain rounding point, which is probably what I'm gonna do. Because I feel like I use this approximately in other spots, and if it's failing here, it's not good. So yeah, I use it here, I use it there, the parallel line, I use it there too. So, I mean, though in that one, it's probably okay. Yeah, there's a lot of situations I think where I'm gonna want to have a little bit more rounded options. So what I'm probably gonna do here is yeah, go to my utils function. Game utils. And then do I have anything in floats already? Nope. Okay. Probably gonna need to organize this in some way, like putting some regions in here to make it a little bit organized at some level. Maybe I'll just do that quickly here. Region lists. Zoom, 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 zoom. Right down here. Hashtag and region. Then here. Hashtag region vectors. And then hashtag and region and hashtag region what region am I doing now? I am gonna make some floats. Okay, and so in this one I'm gonna say public static within rounding range. This seems like a weird way to do this, but I'm gonna say so. This float A float B, and then I'm gonna say like a float rounding multiplier. I don't know what to call this thing. Multiplier. And actually, this isn't going to return a bool. It's not going to return a float. It's going to return a bool. Bool. Okay. And so the general idea here is I'm going to go and yes, I should go math f dot round a times my rounding multiplier, and then equals math f dot then round b times rounding multiplier. This is what I'm just going to return. Now this should be alright, so round will obviously round it to the nearest integer value. I'm still leaving it as floats because hypothetically, like, you could use this thing in, like, you could put in 0, 1. And that would actually be fine. Because this does automatically make me generate. Makes me think if I should do one of those things for all these, but not yet. This was the only one I feel like needs kind of an explanation. Returns returns true if A and B are equal after being multiplied by a rounding multiplier and then rounded. I think I can write things in within these things. Amount to multiply by before rounding. Decimal point? Does that make sense? number to check. Okay. I think there was some way of like syntactically say like highlighting like these as like parameters, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's true if a and b are equal after being multiplied by a rounding multiplier, and then okay, yeah. So that does what I'm going to want to do in most of the cases. Now, left goes right, so this is direction. And in this case, IB utils. Actually, no, it's not written like this, right? So it's going to be like dot is in rounding range. Honestly, 0 is probably in this case like basically if you round them, should be like that, right? Because with this one, it's really I need to know if it's x or if it's x is 0, and if it rounds to 0, basically. I don't care if it's like 0.1, then that's not good. It should be rounded. Okay. So let's find the other ones here. It's approximately this. This one I think honestly is fine. I think it should probably be okay. It's also only displaying warnings, so errors? It is an error, but like it doesn't actually physically change any logic. It just displays an error. This one. Okay, so this again is the direction. So I'm going to go this. Go dot within rounding range 0, 0. And then up here, this is the one I'm going to be a little bit more lenient, because again, it could be slightly off, but I guess if it's slightly off, at what point would I care enough to I might actually honestly make the default here. Actually, no, this needs to be default 1. Oh god, yeah, default 0 is not good. Go back. Not 0. That would not be good. Everything would be equal. It would never not be equal. There we go. 1. Okay. For this one again. Okay, so within rounding range. I'm trying to figure out. Maybe actually. I wonder if I should be rounding it to then the grid values. So I could actually go grid size here, right? Yeah, just how would that actually play out? Because this is not decimal anymore. But if do I actually might want to do it the opposite? Because timesing it by the grid, like if I'm saying my grid is 2, right, I'd actually want to divide it by 2. So in that case, I might want to just make a value here. When I first do this, I would go float inverse grid. This will equal 1 over grid size. I guess I do this like here. So I'm actually going to need it. Where's grid size? Okay. And then same thing here. Because basically what that should do is it'll multiply it by the grid size, which would then round it to the closest interval. Logical. It might have its own issues, but I think that's probably a better way to figure that out. Now there's only one case of approximately, which I think is okay. Now, see how that now works. Because yeah, I assume what was happening was that it was like just slight enough off that it was thinking that it would need to do the whole, you know, like zigzag. But then because it was only like this much apart, it was like getting to there and making 2 turns and then not doing anything. And then just slamming together. Alright. This looks better. I see no turns. I generally see a lot of nice little roomy rooms. Okay. That's cool. So that's the first part. Next part is whether or not I can actually create any sort of logic here to start grouping together potential corridors, right? Like hypothetically, I should be able to take like this one, and this one, and just join those 3 up, right? Like I think that'd be fair for those to be joined up. Although you think that these, like this one going across, feels like maybe stretching, right? But I might still be okay with that. I'm more okay with this one because it does have like a connection here, and then this one would be connecting there, right? So that kind of makes it seem a little bit shorter. But like also something like this, that should totally be connected. But like this thing, nothing over in this direction. I don't think it should. So to do that, I guess the basic idea would be what? generally I would want to search out any doors that, for all the doors that I have, I would want to find other doors that are located in the forward direction of my door, and probably within some sort of reasonable as well, like with some minimum and maximum distance, right? So you wouldn't, I don't know if I can find a case of what I wouldn't want, but like just for example though, like I wouldn't want a door, even though like this could be, I wouldn't want this this door, I wouldn't want, right? Like if this thing was here and this was here, I would not want these two trying to connect to each other because there's just not enough space. Maybe that doesn't really matter that much, but I probably should try to stop that type of thing to happen. Especially if there's any kind of turn. Maybe if like it's aligned, it's okay. Then maybe the minimum doesn't matter then. But probably should be at least a full unit apart. So with that in mind, let's take a look here. So I would actually go back to map generator here. And I do probably want to go to these corridor links. And okay, one more thought here. Look at the map. Okay, so right now I'm there are tuples which I probably don't want long term, but they might be okay at that point, because what I may want to do first is create a bunch of potential links for any door that's possible. And then I would try to like create up a linkage of all the possible links that a door could have and try to evaluate the best. I am now kind of looking at this and regretting the restriction I put on to make corridors not accept same direction corridors. Maybe that would have been cool to like allow this one to connect, but I guess it is already connected there. Like, really, is there a point? And then so like this one can just connect here, and maybe this one connects here. That would be kind of maybe how I do it. But I want to create some rules to basically verify. Going back to the previous point of, I'd want to find something that would verify or like stack rank all the potential corridors, because there could be a couple, right? Like in each one. Like, so maybe what I do is I have all my doors, right? I do the check to see what doors I can connect to. And then within those doors, I'd have to see if there are any better doors with those ones as well, right? Some way of making sure I don't like endless loop here, but like eventually I would find like a cluster, like a spider web of doors that all could potentially connect from like one door in the list to another door. And then I would kind of go through them and figure out, well, maybe this is the better door for that one, and then this is the better door for that one. But basically the idea is to basically start on one of them and figure out anyone that can connect into this like network. So you maybe get not all the doors, but you get some of the doors. Like a network of a certain subset of the doors. And within that grouping, you figure out kind of like what is the best ones. But you know that at that point, all these ones are connected. So then you just, the thing that you have to do is figure out what is the best way to connect these doors, right? Right, and so like I'm just thinking like this is probably a fairly complex little section here, right? So like if I was going to be doing this algorithm, I would have taking, and I'd have to basically be able to handle any door that is reasonably in this area, right? So this would basically include this door, this door, this door, this door, this door, this door, and this door maybe? Or maybe, because like, okay, like if I started on this door, for example, this door would look, and basically its options would be this door, and maybe if the search parameters were wide enough at this door, right? And then so I would have to check these doors. This door would only also have this door, and this door would only have this door. But then this door would have this door. Again, I guess potentially this door, depending on how wide it was. But that seems a little far for a door. So for maybe I'll just say it would probably only get maybe this door. Although no, actually this is about the same distance, isn't it? I guess it would get those doors. These three. I wonder if like at a certain point I would be able to. You think I would at this point I would be able to see like, hey, there's two doors here that have the same direction. I'm only going to pick one of them. I'm only going to refine my search now to my best door, right? So, or doors that I would reasonably have connected, right? So these doors could actually be all three connected, assuming there's no other doors. But then now that I've added this door as an option, this guy would also go and check that this is an option and this is an option. And so now we have this door as an option. That's fine. Right, and so then this door would have some checks. And it might be able to check this. It would still see this door, and maybe, again, I guess it would see maybe this door. It's definitely pretty long at that point, but it would maybe see that door at that point. So then that would be the network basically, because this door cannot see this one, nor can it see this one. So then this would be kind of the network of doors that I would be checking. And then if I was doing that, I would try to maximize the connection. So if there's only, I feel like this, if there's only one, like in the case that this is this door literally can only connect to this door, I would probably say that those should get connected, right? And then, although I guess if this door can also get connected to it, This door can also connect to here. So then probably the ideal solution would be that this gets connected here, this gets connected here, and this gets connected there. I mean that there's no like three-way junctions. And if this one wasn't a consideration because it was like way too far for some reason, like that's maybe that we rule that out, then probably the solution though then would be this connects here to here, and this one connects these three. Right? That's probably how I'd want to have it kind of work. To me, that kind of makes general sense. And then basically for after I've connected all those, basically anything that I have connected, I basically just remove from the list. And then I would just start again and continue iterating over it. So I probably don't need these corridor links. Or maybe they're, I mean... Because like these, okay, so these corridor links are technically already links. They're basically saying predefined links, but in some sense that might not be the greatest because there could be options for, like in say this case, this could go down here, right? I mean, I guess in this case it does also have another connection here to connect there. But I just don't think I'd want to have, in this case, it's a very predictable, like, how this level was created, right? Like, you can kind of just look at it and see, like, this is a center room. It's splayed off 4 times, right? Like, that's how it kind of centered out. That's how it generated this whole level. Which is how it did generate this whole level, but I would rather that not be as visually distinct. And maybe part of that is I need to actually make it so that these doors are not as like the positions that I place these things on aren't guaranteed to be just the same space. Which does add some more complexity later on, but probably the first step still is just to generate the corridors, because I can do that whole like positioning them like out and moving them like someplace further out that maybe isn't occupied, but I can do that after I think I do the corridor system generation, and then it'll just make the corridors look better. But I think the better way to do it is still to do those corridors first. Okay. Oh, that was a lot of speaking to myself. Okay, so let's just get to that part. So what I want to do instead of probably doing this quarter link system thing, right? So that's created before here. Eventually, because the importance here is that these door connections are actually the navigation points from the room, and I actually remove them from the room so that I can't connect further rooms to them while generating them. But at the end, I do need them to make corridors. So what I want to maybe do is just make this a list of navigation points instead of a tuple list. They're no longer going to know, hey, you're supposed to connect to me yet. Just going to be a list of navigation points. Maybe I'll even rename it. Apply that. Door locations. Now maybe I should, so in this, sustain some knowledge of what the room is that's from. I wonder if that matters. It would only really matter in a situation where like a room could be potentially trying to connect to itself. Like it's hypothetically possible if I make like a door here and a door here and something like the room like this. And I'd probably want to not allow a corridor to connect to itself. Just for the sake of like, if it was gonna do that, it probably would always do that, and then it'd just be kind of weird. So just for that kind of sake alone. Although, like, on the other side of that, I might be okay with a situation like if, say, this door didn't exist, this one and this one connecting to like this, assuming this entrance area is, like, I'm probably fine with that. Like these both could lead into the same room, just on different sides. So to that extent, it would be fine to do that, but I guess the circumstance would still be that it has to have at least one external out. It can't be connected to itself. So in that sense, I still probably do want to know the room that this navigation point comes from. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, there's a big yawn. Big yawn. Okay, so. Okay, so back to tuppling. Okay. So then there's that. Okay, and so then I'm gonna be basically adding to link. So that spawned is from, which link is from spawned, and then sorry for bothering you. I wanted. Yeah, so I'm not interested in. Thank you, Automod. Okay. So the thing that I'm going to be linking is the spawned from room is the other one, and it was what was the thing called? Door connection? Door connection. Your connection here. Okay, so now I've added those both to this list. And at the end of this, I'm going to go for each room in room in spawn rooms. I'm really about to be murdered. It's gonna be a for each and a for each. That's fun. and spawned door locations. Navigation points. And B. Not spawned, but room. Yeah, just replace that whole thing there. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Okay. So all I'm doing there is I'm just taking these locations and NP and room. And the thing I'm not liking about this already is it's a lot of for loops. Because technically, right, like I'm actually, in this case, I'd be running this guy, I'd be running a loop of all these doors, get the ones that I can do. And then for all the ones that I just connected, I'd be running a loop for all of them to see what they can connect. And then I'd be adding it like to a list. And then I'd be running another for loop just to verify like which ones are good. And then I'd remove those from the list. Okay, well, actually, that is the better way to do it. Run a for loop over all the doors, get all their possible connections, right? So all the doors now have their possible connections found. So basically, you would store connect like a dictionary of the starting door and all its a list of its possible connections. So then I have the whole map there, and then I would write the list set up there. Where I take this guy, I would go through all the ones that he connects and add those to make a temporary list, and then go through all these ones and make them a temporary list. Or like just one temporary list containing all the possible links and figure out what their best ones are. And order that accordingly. That's not as bad. I think. Saying that now, but it's still a lot of for loops. But you know, it's generating a whole world, so you're like a whole man. You know, it's can't just be super simple all the time. So yeah. Alright, so now I've generated all the connections. I wonder. No, you can't say. Obviously, you can't do the loop before this because do the loop before this, then you just don't have any. You don't have all the available information that you might need. So yeah, the music's just it's still there. I don't know. I'm not feeling the suspenseful stuff this time. It is not keeping me awake. So let's maybe go and do the synth stuff. I like synthwave sounds. Maybe just about put this down too. Okay. That's pumping some life back into me. Okay. So var corridor link in door locations. Okay. Obviously, I'm not going to be generating yet. Okay. Basically, in each one of these, I am going to go through all the other doors. So basically, I'm looping the whole loop twice. Ooh. This does not feel good. I wish I had somebody to say, like, hey, maybe there's some other way I could do this, but nothing like going through a whole list of things twice, right? Who doesn't love n times n runtime? You know, what could possibly go wrong? Anyways, okay, so Steelers Field. I have a min max range, right? Float range thing. I don't know if I want there to be a float, but it's fine. It'll be okay. Private float range. Min max distance for corridor. And then let's say 2 and then just say 30. I don't know. Did I not do this as a constructor? Really? Okay, so then vector 3. Oh no, it's not vector 3, it's a float min, comma, float max. Then min equals this dot min, then this dot max. Okay. Whew. Whew. Alrighty. That was it basically. Okay. So, where was I? In here. Okay. Again, I'm trying to make a list for each section. And then I'm going to add that to a dictionary each time. So I need up here a dictionary of So this is corridor. And a list of corridors. Potential links equals new. Okay. I'm kind of just wondering if it would have been better, like instead of doing this whole loop and the loop and the loop, to get like right, you have to do the loop, and each one has to do another loop to get all the potentials and then connect it. What if I just shuffled the list and then just started going through this and then connecting them, and then like just kind of connects whatever ones it can, and then yeah, it may not be the best ones, but like it will connect all of them, basically anything that it can for the most part. And I might find ones that like I might connect this one first instead of maybe that one, but like, you know, it connected something. That might be fine. Might be more unique rather than like this craziness. Um, Question is that I would need to sort them or shuffle these door locations in a way that would, which I think it would be sorting them so that my brain's stumbling on this so much. I'd have to sort it within my random seed, right? Because it'd have to be deterministic, which is probably fine. I can do that. It just makes, I don't know, it's making me think that I used to think of I thought I had like I at one point thought of like a different way of shuffling a list that I thought was cool, but I no longer remember how I actually did it. Because Oh, I think I remember how to do it. Okay. Actually, okay. So because that for the very reason that I just remembered, I know how to switch list. I'm gonna try that. So, we're just gonna like go through this. I mean, I guess you still have to kind of do this whole like search through the list twice, but you only have to do it once. You don't have to do it a third time because you have to go through each one, and then I guess if you do this backwards, which it doesn't really matter if I've sorted this loop. So convert to 4. Okay, cool. And then I'm gonna. It doesn't reverse for statement. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, it's going backwards. It'll go backwards and then just remove, and then it'll be fine. And then this one's fine to just go through the for loop. Because by the time when it actually removes something, it'll be outside of this for loop. But yeah, before then, I need to sort my or shuffle my door locations. And I might actually put this in a function in my list sub. And so we're going to go public static void shuffle this list of T. All right, now I need to do this little thing. T list. Okay. I might. And then oh yeah, I'm gonna move this to the top here, because then it's kind of with the random part kind of stuff. And then random equals null here as well, because I do need to have the ability to make it be deterministic. Okay, and then again, take this. I need some randomness. Okay. What's next? I don't know why I feel like just to get my brain to focus. I need to go like woo. Oddly focusing. Totally like refocusing and have that ability. Okay. But anyways, okay, so I got that. So I got this randomness. Okay. So the way that I wanted to do this was I was gonna go for int I guess I should say, yeah, I would say 0 still. For int I equals 0. Well, I is less than, I guess I would define the length here. So list when equals list count. And I guess I would also just say, hey, if at this point, if list dot is null empty, we just return list, because ain't got to shuffle that. I guess we don't need to, yeah, just return. And it doesn't need to do anything. Okay. It doesn't need to return the shuffle list. It just shuffles it. We're not making a new list in this. Okay. I is less than Lynn. I plus plus. Okay. And then the thought here was I take T item. Next thing I get first, I get int index, and this is going to equal my random dot next between 0, comma, and len. Right. Again, the next max value is always exclusive in these because they basically know it's meant for array lookups. So, and actually, no, instead of 0, it's going to be I. And this is where my little thought of a new way of shuffling works. Because most of the time, I think like these things work where you take this one, take I, and then you take this value and put it where I, or take I and put it where this value is, and then put this value where I is. I don't really like that one because I feel like it makes in a sense, it makes the stuff in the front more shuffled than the stuff in the back. If that makes any sense. Whereas what I'm gonna do is a little bit different. So I'm getting my index. I'm gonna get the value. So the value is going to be T value equals list dot index then list dot remove at index and then remove at that, and then I'm gonna now go list dot insert at 0 with I. I could do I, but I don't think it actually really matters, and just I feel like 0 is just more understandable. So like and so the reason why I'm using I here is as I increases so I acts as the index which below the rest is shuffled. The idea again, so like it's starting at 0, so nothing is shuffled. So then I take one card and then I throw it back at 0. And so now the next time I iterate, I'm gonna be going through all the other cards that I've not chosen yet. And so then I'm going to take one of those cards and throw them on the bottom. And then, again, I'm just not touching anything that I've shuffled. So none of the things that I've shuffled will get reshuffled. And then I'm just gradually picking less and less and less until I've now thrown everything, kind of one card at random each time into a new deck, right? But it's still the same list. And yeah, that's kind of my random. It's actually just surprisingly simple, and I feel like less changes than what I normally would have initially done, right? Like the swapping, because the swapping, you need to take the two values, you need to do two index lookups, you need to then set one index and remove it. So I guess it depends on how heavy a remove at and an insert are versus assigning. That might make the difference on performance. Those, like, these two functions are probably more, almost guaranteed more performance loss than that. But conceptually, I just like this way. So yeah, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. Okay. I guess, yeah, especially like you couldn't obviously do this in array, but you're like dynamically resizing and upsizing it. I guess that's probably why they don't do this. It is cool though, I feel, in that it does do a better shuffle. Any way that I could make this better? I mean, it should obviously, I feel, be the better way if you're going to make a new list anyways. But I don't think it'll be that much fun anyways. It's direct index lookups and stuff, so so not too bad there. Okay. Anyways, so I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna go door locations dot shuffle map random. I've shuffled them. And I have this location, and at this point I want to what do I want to do? I want to figure out if they're viable, right? So basically at this point only checking first oh crap. Okay, so it does come back though just to this whole thing of in this situation where I'm just thinking again about, like, this way would work if I was only ever going to do two, like 1-to-1. But if I'm doing this 3 section, I mean, I guess I can do these things where like this would connect to this, but You wouldn't get any situation where this would connect to this and this. But you would get these three. I could probably get this. I guess that's probably fine. If I'm losing those, but I'm like, it's a little bit more straightforward in a system-less checking thing, I'll be okay. So I'm gonna make a list of corridors to generate. I might be able to get away with like just calling that generate function in this. We'll see if it works, but equals new list of corridors. I might actually be making a very okay. Why don't we? I actually wonder, can I maybe make like equal? I'll just even say this equals declared. I do need to declare it right here, and then it's always going to equal to door locations dot count -1, and then while door locations dot count is greater than 0. And actually I should make this a safe lookup because the first one is not guaranteed. Dot safe dot does it just have a find? I mean, it has find last, but I thought I made a I mean, get closest would be fun. Because it would do this, and then this would check, and this would realize it's 0, and then it'd be fine, and then each time I go through the loop, this is a messed up for loop. Yeah, it should just be a while. So while door count is greater than 0. That's gonna be the list that I do. Okay, so basically while I have locations, I'm just going to get the last one. And then I am going to... I'll say I don't like the idea that I have to go get closest. Well, maybe that's fine. It's basically like a get safe. Though maybe if I was going to do that, I would probably just, instead of shuffling it, I would just get random. Get random and remove, right? It's probably fine. Yeah, okay, let's do that instead. I mean, I'm still going to keep my shuffle method because it's cool, but get random. And supply in map random. Okay, so I do that. Door locations, quarter links, get random to generate. Okay, so now there's a question what I guess next time I wanted to do get random and remove. Okay, so I've removed it. Okay. Now if I go and I have my do generate, I might just want to add this one directly to the do generate list. I want to create it with a capacity of 4 because that's the max that I want. I'm going to always put in corridor link. All right. Next point. Because the idea here is that even if I dot item 2, or is that item 1? Item 1. Again, all right. These are not corridors; they're navigation points. Even if it's just one, it'll create a storage closet. Should be fine. Speaking of which, did I actually make those storage closets good again? No, I did. Okay, good. Cool. So, now first check is if to check dot item 1 equals corridor link dot item 1. We're not going to continue, or basically just nick out all the quick checks. So if they equal each other, or the rooms equal each other, item 2, if either of those are the case, then we are going to say no. Continue. Now the other thing is if I'll probably just do if I could probably do it in the same order. So it's if to check dot item 1 dot transform dot forward equals 2 check dot item. Oh no, it's not 2 check, it's quarter link. It's the second one. Quarter link item 1 dot transform dot forward. So if they're both facing the same direction, no. This, no. Otherwise, maybe. Okay. So. I'm not gonna have enough time to do this, which is somewhat sad, but I'm just gonna try to get as far as I can before like 10 more minutes roll by, and I'm gonna probably call it private float. And I'll just say the max range here is for both forward and like out. Maybe I should make it like circle thing, but I'm probably just gonna do straight. You can technically get like a little bit further by going over, but it should be fine. Okay, and then the way I know I've got a potential good direction. I need to find the distance. Actually, I could just do the distance calculation, right? I could just take the 2 points, do the distance calculation, and go from there. Okay, that's actually easier in many ways. So, float distance equals 2 check dot item 1 dot transform dot position. Do vector 3 dot square magnitude and comma corridor link dot item 1 dot transform dot position. Okay, and then right, okay, so yeah, just these are minus by each other, I guess. Yeah. That's the distance. Okay. Doesn't matter which way I minus those because it's just gonna get the magnitude. And then basically if yeah, that should be fun. I was just thinking about the square of for the minimum, if the minimum maybe matters, but I'm taking the square distance just because it's faster, but probably doesn't matter for the min distance, because the min distance, I guess technically I should make it the square of this but I can just make it some smaller distance, a slightly larger distance than where it is right now. So if I might as well just do float min equals. I didn't actually make these underscore, did I? I defined them? No. I should have done that. C too. Okay. The min will equal to underscore min distance dot min times itself. I guess I should type square. And then dupe. Paste. Max. 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 If distance is greater than the min and distance is less than equal, even though it's within a command, the max, then it's a consideration, right? I guess I could just inverse this, invert, go continue. The only other check that I should do is if something else in here has the same direction as one of the existing lines. I just want to find the closest one, basically. It's a slight small check, basically. Okay, so if so to generate dot find np so close. I just want to okay. np and np dot transform dot forward equals to check dot transform dot item 1 dot transform dot forward. Maybe I should cache this forward. Vector 3 forward equals so if they have the same forward, so if there is one navigation point same dir so yeah, I'm gonna probably find index int same dir index, and then I will go get the navigation point here, navigation point, or I go same dir np equals we have an equals here. To generate dot same direction. Okay, so then it grabs that, and then I'm gonna make basically oh, thank you. Of same deer, and basically comparing this one okay, and then basically, so now I'm just comparing the distances, and if the same deer distance is greater than distance here, then I'm going to swap them. Generate equals okay, so actually first here, if we don't have anything, so if same deer index is less than 0, we don't find anything. Actually, no, in this case, I want it to be greater than or equal to 0, then I'm going to do something in here. So if it is greater than 0, we found something. And then in this case as well, I'm going to do it. If it's less, then I'm going to continue, because it's basically better. Otherwise, or actually, we will do greater than, and then we'll replace it here. We'll continue no matter what, but because in this case I have to replace it, and in the other case I have to like add it, it's slightly different. So to generate of same deer equals to check dot item 1, and otherwise somewhat similar, but I'm going to be going dot add this, basically pass all the checks. And then at the end here, I'm going to add 2 to generate the corridor link. I don't add it before because then I'd have to be like searching through it each time. To generate corridor link dot item 1. Ooh. Okay. Let's just see if this actually makes anything resembling something cool. I'm gonna hit the play button, and it's gonna be what it is. So, fingers crossed that get something good. You know, how amazing! Like, what miracle would it be if just me coming into here it just like works, you know? That would be pretty magical. Either way, once it finishes the compile. The compiles just takes so much longer. Okay. I might actually go and I was wrapping up this change, but I'm just gonna disable that. But yeah, I don't know. It feels like it takes longer when I do it then. Okay. Oh God. Okay. Well, it made things, guys. Okay, so just one more thing. So for each navigation point, crap. I need to convert this to a for loop and actually do also reverse it because I need to be able to remove door locations dot remove at I. So obviously these are now taken doors, right? They're gone. They should not have more doors being. Now, is that the reason why this is totally effed? I don't think so. But oh crap, I didn't. God damn, that is all levels of cursed. Oh. Yeah, this doesn't actually check if it's the right type of distance, right? Fuck. Okay. Yeah, I really wanted to just in there. I still need this over here, but this check needs to be different. Okay, can I write this in like 5 minutes? Maybe. We'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna write vector 3 min and vector 3. Should I just make this a bounds? I can make bounds. think I can probably just do an empty one. Yeah. And then so if border length, this is the one I actually care about. If this forward dot x dot so if it's not, basically, so again, I'm doing the whole basically, is the forward on the x or is the forward on the so if the forward is on the x, and again if is greater than 0, else, so if it's greater here, then the min so this means it's basically facing this way. So the min is going to be bounds dot min set min max. Okay. So the min is going to be my corridor. I'm gonna write the base. Vector 3 pause equals. I guess I'm gonna use this in all the situations. So pause is. I really should be setting these bounds right here. It's gonna be reused. And pause equals corridor link dot item 1 dot position. I just really want to see this work. So pause equal item position, right? So then if I get the position here is position dot the minimum, I guess, doesn't change the x at all. It's just z is going to be pause dot z minus this. And then pause dot new z this, but plus and dot new x pause dot x plus that's a big one. Nice thing is though that I can basically copy this, I can paste that there. All I have to change is I take this instead, put that to the min, and I make it a minus. And then take I assume I left an extra for the bracket there where I shouldn't have. Yeah, okay. And then in here, these should all just think. No, okay. I think it's fixable. Anyways, so the forward is Z, so then the one I'm going to be multiplying is the X here. I'm going to just switch all the things that say X. This is all the things that say Z with X. And then this with Z. This with Z. And also this with Z. And this with X. This with X. This with X. This with C. This with C. This with X. So, then in this case, if check item dot transition is not in my bounds dot contains this position. It does not, we will continue. That's what we should have checking. Ooh. And probably at this point, if this does not work, I probably got to. I think. Or did it already? I mean, the thing that just showed the probably just actually did better. I feel. I am seeing some correct corridors. Right. Damn. Well. Is this like... Wait, that's one corridor? Wild. I guess, yeah, I do need to do some checks to make sure that basically these rooms are not going through other rooms. With this thing. I guess these ones were trying to connect to each other, though. Oh god. It just makes me weird out. Alright, well. I hate to leave things in a mess like this, but that's basically what I gotta do. Next time, basically, there's definitely lots of things I need to figure out. First, I think just make sure that these are finding something that is better. It's so many errors here. But yeah, I basically need to make sure that this logic actually is sound, which it obviously is not right now. So, and once I do that, then I gotta figure out some more things. I think the biggest thing, yeah, is probably just the figuring out which things are actually feasible given this location. There's probably also has to be certain other checks where, like, if this is the door and it finds a door like this, or sorry, this is the door and it finds a door that's like further over but has this direction, it should ignore that. So some things like that. Those will probably cut up most of the bad things, but just have to do that next time. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. It's been Risky Biscuit Games, making some terrible corridors again. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you